Ah, the joys of riding up a hill. It's a dreaded task for some and an inspiring challenge for others. But what can you and I do to make it just that little bit easier? That's what this video is about. The first thing you can do is to pick up some momentum before you hit the hill. Now, if your hill is sufficiently short, then this momentum may carry you either all the way up or some of the way up, saving you some of the energy that you have to exert on the hill. Picking up speed is good, but it's only going to help you on some of the hills and some of the way, and it's not going to solve all your climbing problems. You have to make friends with the gears on the bicycle. I know that most of my audience knows already how to shift gears, but you'd be surprised to learn there are so many people clueless about shifting. I know many new riders, children, and even adults, even in my own family, who don't know how to shift gears, and they just say, okay, I'm not going to touch this, I just pedal in the same gear, uphill or downhill. To put in simple terms, the higher the number on the shifter, the harder it is going to be to pedal up hills, and the faster you can go when you're going either on the flat or going down. If the number is small, that means it's going to be easier for you to climb a hill, but also you're going to be slower when you pedal. Switch into the climbing gear before you hit the hill. This is important. So many people start climbing the hill and then they realize that they can't pedal anymore. It's too hard, and then they want to shift. Then it's already too late. You've lost momentum and your bike might even give you some nasty noises. If you switch into the proper gear before you hit the hill, you're going to be able to maintain the same comfortable cadence. And speaking of cadence, you have to try to maintain the same cadence throughout the climb. So you have to switch to the proper gear that is going to allow you to do that. Different bikes have different gear ranges. Some of them are better suited for going fast, such as a road bike, and some of them are better suited to climb hills, such as mountain bikes or gravel bikes or touring bikes. So you have to pick the right type of bike, or the bike that has the right type of gear for your terrain. If you live in a relatively flat area and you just encounter the occasional hill, then you don't have to have very good climbing gears. But if you live in a hilly area and this is a real challenge, then you're better off looking at some bikes that have good climbing gears. If you don't want to upgrade your bike, but you just want to upgrade some of the components, you can look at putting a larger cassette on the back, on the rear wheel of the bike, or a smaller chainring on the front of the bike, and that is going to allow you to get better climbing gears. If you are mechanically inclined, you can do this at home, but if this is a daunting task for you, then go to your local bike shop and your mechanic is going to do it in no time. Finding the optimum position for climbing is also going to help you. Some people are better at climbing when they stand out of the saddle, while others find it easier to climb seated down. Experiment with both positions and find what works better for you. If there is a segment that is particularly hard for you to climb, then you might want to look for an alternative way to get to your destination. Some climbs are steeper than others, and there might be just an alternative route for you to get to the same destination without having to climb all that hard. Climbs admittedly make you sweat, and when the day is already hot and you have already done a long distance, this might not be something you want to expose yourself to. In that case, you might just want to get off the bike and push it on that segment. I do this sometimes. There is a very steep climb on the last mile of my commute, and sometimes I ride my Brompton that doesn't have very good climbing gears, and it's a hot, sunny day. I just get off the bike and push it up that hill. It's that easy. All these tips are well and good, but some people live in way hilly areas for them to commute. And in this case, an electric bike might just come in handy. They make riding up a hill so much easier. Some of them are powerful enough to carry you up a hill without even pedaling, just using the throttle. Some of them might need you to gently assist them with the pedal. But even a tiny bit of assistance from an electric motor means a lot. So if you want to get a good workout, you want to pedal most of the way, but you need some assistance from an electric motor, even a small 250 watt motor goes a long way. Tackling hills is a very important part of your ride. It can make or break a commute. But having a practical bike is just as important as getting up the hills with ease. The more practical your bike is, the more likely it is that you're going to want to ride it long term. This video explains the 4 most important characteristics every commuter bike should have, and this video explains the 7 features that every good commuter bike should have. See you there!